Neukölln. Please, a big round of applause for this lovely band. Thanks for that introduction. Dear ladies and gentlemen, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, a warm welcome, ein herzliches Willkommen. I'm very happy to see you all here. My name is Julia. I will be your host for this next event, which is the Innovators Pitch. It is Bitkom's path-breaking competition for early-stage startups. So, is everybody ready? That was a little bit too low-key, everybody. Maybe you need some more information to get excited, so I'll give you some more infos. This is basically tradition at Hub Berlin. It's the 15th IP. Bitkom has received almost 140 applications from over 6 countries. Thoroughly, they went through each and every one and decided who the 6 finalists are. And these 6 finalists, these 6 startups will be up here on stage. They are ready to compete. They are ready to pitch their idea up here on stage. They are ready to impress you and you and you and you and basically everyone. And they are ready to impress the jury, which will be sitting there. As I mentioned, this is a competition. So once up here, we will quickly go through the rules. Don't get scared, very simple. They come up here, they've got 3 minutes time to pitch their idea, no longer 3 minutes. And afterwards, there's a short question and answer round from the jury. 3 minutes again, okay? That's it. In the end, the jury will determine who has the brightest, most innovative product. Now, we have 2 categories today. Number 1 is artificial intelligence and EdTech. 3 startups in each category wanting to win this today. Because the prize, yes, there is a prize, very importantly. It's 10,000 euro in cash per winner. It's a free Bitkom Get Started membership and the opportunity to meet some top-notch business partners and investors. Also, we have a surprise guest who will blow your mind, so be ready for that. And I think maybe now's the time to ask again. Come on, people, let's cheer a bit. Are you ready for this year's Innovators Pitch? Woo! I like that, I have to admit. Okay. So if you want to share proof that you are part of this today, please use the hashtags HubBerlin and IP23. And now please join me for a huge applause, because thanks to our partners who have also made this possible, thanks to Fiverr and Vodafone Stiftung Deutschland. So we are, I promise, just about to start the competition. You're like, what is she talking all the time? We're just about to start. As I've mentioned, startups are competing in 2 categories, EdTech and AI. First category is EdTech, which is powered by our dear partner Vodafone Stiftung Deutschland. As a nonprofit corporate foundation, their focus is on developing innovative learning opportunities. Please find out more about Vodafone Stiftung Deutschland. All eyes on this screen, please.
Technology will play an even bigger role than it has so far in education, especially when it comes to digital technologies. They aim at bringing better education to the young generation, to support the teachers, and to help the children to learn in a more individual, in a more effective way. I'm very interested in what sharp minds and thinking out of the box can present us for a better digital education.
May I introduce to you the lovely gentleman we have just seen in this video? Matthias Graf von Kielmann-Seck, Managing Director of Vodafone Stiftung Deutschland. A big round of applause.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
In the video, you have stressed the importance of EdTech in classrooms. What does Vodafone Stiftung do explicitly to support?
We are working in various elements. We have an education program that is trying to teach students, but most of the time students together with teachers, because we think that all we offer has to be very adaptable and has to be easygoing, just to be implemented in the normal school life. School life for teachers is so stressful. There are so many tasks you have to fulfill every day. So you must have it just on the spot. You must have it not with a big first conceptual phase, but make them easy to get adopted to it and then enlarge it, develop it. And that's what we do in our teaching programs, but we also work on the education policy field. So we make surveys and we give ideas, we develop new ideas and take part in the education policy debates. As you might have seen, we just have, together with other foundations who are busy in the educational sector, have just published an appeal to the education policy in Germany to go on and speed up with major reforms, because we think that is definitely necessary at the moment.
Thank you very much. Matthias Graf von Kielmann-Seck, you are the jury head.
Yeah.
So what does the startup need, what do they need to bring along to get the wow effect?
First of all, I simply want to see, is there something new, or is there something that the normal way of teaching, the normal curricula, or the normal training for teachers, or the normal organization in a very stable, let's say even sometimes stiff educational system does not offer? Is that something that is really of some value for the teaching? And then, of course, we want to see, do they know what they're speaking about? And how do they will they be able to prove for the teachers, for the schools, for the students, that it is of whether it has a real effect on building up skills, future skills? Does it have either an inclusive attachment, or does it foster digital skills, or is it making teaching more effective in a more individual, adaptable way? All these kinds of things might be very interesting, so we'll see.
Thanks a lot. Matthias Graf von Kielmann-Seck, jury head, Managing Director of Vodafone Stiftung Deutschland. Please, a big round of applause. You can have a seat. You can choose. And we have 3 more jury members whom I will ask up on stage now. Please welcome up on stage Beth Havinger, CEO of Connect EdTech. A big round of applause, please. Louise Heinz, Senior Investment Manager at HTGF. Hello. And Dr. Diana Knodel, Founder and CEO at Forbits. Hi, nice to have you. Yes, everybody, please say hello to our entire jury up on stage. Quickly, the rules once again. I'm 3 minutes pitch up on stage. Afterwards, a 3-minute question and answer round. That's your turn. And then the next contestant comes up on stage. It's as simple as that. You ready? Good. I talked to my nephew yesterday. He's 12 years old, 6th grade. It is this beautiful time in life that you call puberty, Pubertät. It's the time in life that every parents get, no parents want, for free, congratulations. It is also the phase in life that is a very sensitive phase, because bodies change, there are lots of insecurities, hundreds of unanswered questions, and it is a time where sex education in schools should play a main role in the curriculum. Surveys have shown education, especially in this field, partially has not changed, not moved forward for 30 years. Do you want to see how good and up-to-date sex education can be? Then listen to this young woman. It's a startup founded in Bochum in Nordrhein-Westfalen, and they are ready to revolutionize education, sex education in schools. So please welcome, up on stage, Vanessa Meyer, co-founder and CEO of KNOWBODY.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, and together with Caroline, Fabian, and our team, we want to revolutionize the sex education of today's youth. Why, you might ask me, and I would like to give that question back to you, because do any of you have good memories from your sex education in school? Well, me neither. And if you think that's surely better by now, I sadly have to disappoint you, because even though all of these topics are actually part of the school's curriculum in theory, in practice they're not being taught. As we surveyed students, 2/3 of them said that they never talked about sexuality in media, or sexualized violence, or sexual orientation or identity. It's not surprising when you look at the teachers, because 67% were never prepared for sex education during their own studies or training, and this is the material that they have to work with. And if you're wondering why the clitoris isn't there, or if you think, why doesn't my body not look like this, then you are asking yourself one of the many questions that are being left unanswered by the status quo. But teenagers will find and want to find answers to these questions. And if they're not answered in school, and also not by their parents most of the time, the main educator of today's youth today is the internet. And anybody who's ever Googled anything relating to sex can hopefully agree that the internet is not a safe space for students to learn. Therefore, we think it's time for an update for the sex education in today's schools, and this is why we developed KNOWBODY. KNOWBODY is an app for sex education in all secondary schools in Germany and the DACH region. We have learning units that fit exactly into the curriculum and into a school lesson. Teachers across all departments can use KNOWBODY to start conversations about how to deal and recognize emotions, or how to practice safer sex, or how to set and respect healthy boundaries with our partners and, frankly, everyone around us. We use various media formats such as 3D animations or quizzes tailored to different learning types, and creating content that is much closer to the reality of students' actual lives than a dusty book on the shelf. Our license model is that education providers purchase annual licenses with which teachers and students then unlock the app, with the state of Bremen being the first to do so even before we entered the market. Our next steps will be focusing on providing the app to students in every federal state of Germany, as well as Europe further down the line. You can gladly support us in this mission by firstly telling every teacher and education ministries about KNOWBODY, and also test it yourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that very interesting presentation. If you don't, I got a first question. You said you're addressing educational institutions, especially schools and teachers. Therefore, you need access to schools. In order to get access, you normally need some kind of approval, or at least some support by the ministries of education in the federal states to somehow fit into the curricula, or at least to be adaptable to the curricula. How do you organize that?
We'd love to organize it even more. Actually, at the moment, we don't really have to, because as sex education is only part of the school year, we're a teaching tool that is short time or short term, and all short-term tools can be, the teacher can decide themselves whichever one tool they want to use, as they would with a simple PDF. The ministry doesn't have to look upon it, which makes it more difficult for us in order to actually license and finance it, because if we don't have an official stamp, and we can't get one at the moment because there's no process for it for digital tools like ours, then we can't go into these budgets as well. So we would gladly have a stamp of approval and would gladly have the ministries check each and everything that is in the app, because we're very confident that it is according to the curriculum, and we do a very precise work because it is very sensitive material, of course. But at the moment, there's no possibility for it.
Okay.
So thank you very much. A very important topic. So if I'm a teacher in, let's say, Bavaria, can I also use your app, or do I always have to go through the state? That's the one question. The second question, can you tell me a little bit more about your team?
Gladly. The first question, we do operate in all of Germany and the DACH region at the moment. We have schools from several federal states who already licensed the app themselves. In Bremen is the only state that does it already. So every school in Bremen can use it for free, but other schools have to purchase it themselves, because especially in bigger federal states like Bavaria, it is less likely that the state will do it centrally and get stuff centrally. So we would more likely talk to cities or communes in order to get licenses. And our team is, the founders team is me and Caroline. We had the idea. We started this in 2019 with just an idea and a lot of frustration about sexual education. And then we found a programmer, that's Fabian. We are the 3 core founding members, and then we have a team of freelancers ranging from 5 to 15 people who were involved in creating the content of the app. These are then people with expertise in biology, psychology, medicine, design, communication, all of these things.
Okay, thank you very much.
Time is up. Thanks to Vanessa Meyer for introducing Nobody to us. Thank you very much. A big round of applause. Thank you. Schools in Germany are running out of teachers. The most dramatic teacher shortage is still ahead, and numbers are shocking. Some researchers have estimated up to 80,000 unfilled positions by 2030. If you ask teachers what they want the most common answer is not more pay. The most common answer is more time for core tasks, because they're being saddled with organizational tasks and more projects and more projects and more projects. Now, this startup will not be able to solve the problem an entire education system has, of course not, but they will do what they can do, which is give teachers a helping hand, minimize their workload. And now you're like, well, how are they going to do this? Hear for yourself. Please welcome up on stage Jonas Nöhl, co-founder and CEO at Ubicates.
Hello, I'm too busy. This is typically the first sentence we hear when we talk to teachers. Teachers take a lot of time to prepare lessons and adapt materials to the needs of their students. This is a time-consuming task due to the missing digitization in schools. In consequence, teachers have too little time to focus on what really counts, their students. Eventually, not only themselves, but everyone in the school and also the parents are frustrated. This is why we as Ubicates digitize the entire teaching cycle for teachers. In the lesson preparation, we provide AI-based convenient features, such as changing the pull principle for materials and searching for materials to a push principle. With Ubicates, teachers get content suggestions that they can simply adapt to the needs of their students. The teaching itself can be done digitally or analog. When done digitally, we provide teachers with task aggregations over the class's performance and allow them to address potential problems early on. Regardless of the teaching method, they also get an insight into their own teaching based on the curriculum which we integrated. So, we developed a step-by-step guide to support especially unexperienced teachers. In this guide, they can select a topic and competences from the curriculum and can create high-quality lesson within just minutes instead of spending hours of preparation. Prepare, do, improve, and repeat. This is how a process should actually look like. But to improve, you first need to know what is really going on. This is why we as UpUcate deliver early warnings to the teachers and data-driven feedback. On top of that, they can improve their own processes and teaching for their students. More time, less stress, and a higher quality of content. This is what teachers get from us for a small monthly fee due to our organizational and lesson preparation support. We are ready to take off. In the last month, we made our successful market entry. We have over 200 plus teachers, schools in all different federal states, and we are Exist funded. Currently, we are looking for more cooperations with schools and organizations. We are giving teacher trainings to settle our product at the very base, and we have a full feature pipeline ready. If you all also want to improve teaching and help our teachers, get in touch with us and talk to your teacher friends. So, let's all together value teachers' time for our future. Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you so much for the presentation. A couple of questions. The first one is, it's very unlikely that the majority of teachers are working with OER materials. A lot of them are working with other created materials from different publishing houses. What is the connection you have to all of those, or what connection is planned, also with a view to copyright? And the second question would be how you differentiate yourself from all the other LMSs that also have pretty much the same functionality.
Yep. So first of all, we say they don't, and we bet on that because all other platforms we know they provide materials. They create own materials. So the second question first. They create own materials, and there are a lot of textbook publishers, but we don't create materials ourselves. So we use open educational resources. We suggest materials that we have integrated. Teachers can create their own materials, share them with others. So we are not in the creation of materials itself. And so for the first question, I had trouble to understand, so maybe you could give me 2 hints for the first one.
The first question, that was more around the connection to publishers. So if you're making content recommendations and it said AI based on the OER sort of component, is there a connection based also with traditional publishers or any of the other materials that might be copyrighted within the system?
Yeah, so we're not working with big publishers right now since it is a problem due to the licenses, but we have the first publishers which will provide their materials, especially for books like literature, which is read in the schools. We are working with them together and digitizing their concepts for the teaching. So we started working together with them,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot, also from my side, for the pitch. I have one question following up on the question on the quality management, because if open content is used or user-generated content is reused, how do you make sure that the quality is still like high level?
Yeah, so first of all, there is open educational resources and content for teaching, which is approved by certain organizations, and they provide it like there are federal states which have platforms. There is in Bavaria, for example, there is teaching material for all lesson topics available, and we of course use this one, so this is approved. But there's also the option for teachers to create own material, and other teachers can rate it. It's like sharing and rating content like in all other platforms, social platforms. So you can just like vote it up. And at the very base, teachers have to decide on their own which content they want to use. So they can set on the normal school book, but they don't have to. So they can also create their own stuff. So basically, we allow them and we help them to get a nice idea of, but in the end, they have to.
One last question, very short. You already had some practice with teachers. What were your first learnings from the reactions of the teachers?
Yeah, so we have a good feedback. We have first schools that really actually use us, and we are really going for another school types. Like we started with the gymnasium, and that worked pretty well. But for other school types, it seems there are a little bit different requirements, but we are getting there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. our ability to communicate with one another, to express what we want, what we don't want, to share information, to receive information. We all know that communication is the foundation we need to become part of a society, to feel heard, to make friends. It's as simple as that. See what I'm doing? I should be doing it with both hands. I'll just do it with one. I'm clenching my fist, and then I'm going like that. This is sign language, and it stands for together. Togetherness, inclusion. That's what this startup wants. For those children that need support when it comes to speaking. In 2020, 2 young women from Frankfurt founded Talking Hands and built a bridge between verbal and non-verbal communication. Please welcome one of those 2 ladies up on stage now, Maria Möller.
Verbal communication is a tool that most of us use every day, just like I do right now. I can tell my needs and wishes to anyone, and I will always be understood. But so many kids with Down syndrome, autism, or hearing impairments can't verbally express themselves. And it's incredibly frustrating to not be able to tell your needs and wishes to the people around you. One way to communicate without the spoken word is sign language. But one crucial aspect of any type of communication is that sender and receiver need to understand each other. So we need to make sure that not only the kids who have a disability learn sign language, but every kid needs to learn sign language. That's the meaning of inclusion. We initially tackled that problem by creating flipbooks for sign language. They're an analog product, the opposite of tech, and they work perfectly, especially in kindergartens. But to reach a broader audience, we created the Talking Hands app. And our app enables children and adults to learn signs through educational games, theme worlds, and distinctive character design. The feedback we got on the app was that kids immediately mimic the animations and just have fun with it. And that's important to get all kids to learn, and that's why our app is a crucial step to make sure sign language is a standard part of educational institutions. We created this app with the help of teachers, speech therapists, and sign language experts. And this is the team behind Talking Hands, and in the middle you see Jami. Jami is Laura's sister and has Down syndrome. So this topic is very personal to us, and we're on a very personal mission to make sure no kid has to grow up with feelings of isolation. So I really hope I was able to motivate some of you to maybe get to learn sign language a little bit and to help us get this tool into as many educational institutions as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's very interesting, and as a mum of 2 small girls who learnt sign language at kindergarten, I really appreciate it. My question is how you're actually engaging the schools and the kindergartens at the moment, and what your plans are then to extend that, or how you're entering into the market.
Yeah, we're trying to have a very direct approach, and we do workshops to kind of help kindergartens and schools to learn how to initially start. How to use, to learn how to use sign language in an everyday, on an everyday basis. But we kind of still struggle with the fact that a lot of schools and kindergartens don't really want to have inclusion in in their institutions, so it's still kind of hard to get them to start doing it.
So thank you very much. I really liked the presentation. So how do you sell to teachers or schools, and how does it work? Do you have first customers? A little bit more about your business model would be interesting.
Yeah, so we founded in 2020, and by now we have 10,000 users of our flip books, and we launched the app 2 months ago, and right now we have around 6,000 downloads and 200 subscribers, so it's still very kind of at the beginning. But we're hoping to especially focus on the schools, because right now it's mostly parents who use our app, and we really wanted to become part of schools and kindergartens.
In your pitch deck, you mentioned that you also aim at adding a visual tracking element in this. Is that something for the future years to come, or is that already some plans that you're already working on?
Yeah, we definitely want to, one next step is, because right now we do the illustrations basically by hand, and we want to get into motion tracking as well, where we put someone, in gloves and have it translate into the illustrations, and then to kind of use the app so you could do the signs and it tells you if it was right or wrong, to kind of, add more and more helps of learning the signs.
The only other question I would have is around multiple languages. Obviously, there's multiple sign languages, and we live in a country with multiple backgrounds, and you're using at the moment the German Sign Language. Is there any view to sort of extending that and offering multilingual applications of that with different versions of sign language?
Yeah, we definitely want to go international with the app, and to have it basically available in all countries to learn sign language. That would mean we have to change up all the animations, which we'll be able to do very quickly once we have the motion tracking kind of setup done. We're working on that right now, and we hope we can have it done by December.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Time is up.
Thank you. Time is going by so fast. We have finalized our first category, EdTech. All pitches have been up here on stage. So now, please, a big round of applause to our jury. Matthias Graf von Kiemannsegg, Beth Havinger, Louise Heinz, Dr. Diana Knodel. Let's give a big round of applause to them. Please stand up, and we'll see you later. Thank you very much. I think you can also go down there, right? Everybody's using the complicated way. Probably it's my fault. I told them to go down there. Well, well. So we are heading on to our category number 2, which is AI, artificial intelligence, powered by our dear partner, Fiverr, the world's largest marketplace for digital services. See what they do in this short introduction video.
We at Fiverr, we help startups actually make their goals, their dreams, their projects become reality. When you look at technology and look at new trends such as AI, usually freelancers are always at the forefront. So we at Fiverr, we really want to be that place where those new professions are being showcased first. I think AI startups can play a big role because startups in general are very agile and they're very innovative, so they can actually be the disruptors that implement AI technology and new AI tools and solutions. I think there's a lot of opportunities there. Actually, while I was looking at all those startup pitches for the Innovators Pitch, I could see a lot of use cases, amazing use cases, how AI technology can actually be used.
May I please introduce up on stage the country manager DACH at Fiverr. A big round of applause Florian Müller. Thank you very much for being here.
Hi, everyone.
You are the jury head in the category AI. You know about that, right?
Yes, I do.
How do you envision the collaboration between humans and AI systems in the future?
Yeah, I guess we're all here because AI is kind of the topic of the hour. And overall, I'd say AI is built by humans for humans. And AI can help in so many areas. We usually see a lot of development in the tech space, but also other industries, for example, public health sector or other sectors can greatly benefit from it. Overall, I just want to say, like I said, AI is built by humans for humans, and it always needs a human touch in the end.
Now we've already got our finalists up on stage, so brilliant startups, but give us a last hint. What do they have to bring along to convince you?
Yeah, so like you all know, we do have the finalists here. So they all have amazing ideas, and I was really generally amazed by all the ideas, how AI technology can be implemented. And I think it's very interesting to see how they want to implement the idea, looking at strategy and either go-to-market strategy or marketing strategy in general. And I would also really like to know where they see themselves and maybe AI in general in 5 years and what their overall vision is.
Thank you very much. A big round of applause to Florian Müller, Country Manager DACH at Fiverr. You can get comfortable. And of course, 2 seats left. So may I please ask Sarah Heuberger, editor at Gründerszene, up on stage, jury member in the category Artificial Intelligence. Welcome. Ann-Christine. And Ann-Christine Kortenbrede, Senior Investment Manager at eCapital. Welcome and thanks for being here. Now we are complete. You know the deal? Yeah, you know, 3 minutes pitch up on stage, 3 minutes question and answer round. Then we can go on. Now let us be honest. Probably every one of you, I have, occasionally opened my fridge, and in the back, digging around in the back, I found some food gone bad. And off it goes in the garbage. We do know that we can avoid this by planning our grocery shopping, by properly organizing the storage of food in our fridge. We know that. Now, this is us at home contributing to the food waste problem. And it is also the grocery industry that throws away lots and lots of food. 3 young men have invested years of research to find a way to reduce food waste. In 2021, this team of brilliant minds has founded Plana AI, and I would please want to welcome up on stage the co-founder, Franz Seibert.
Perfect. Thank you. Hi, my name is Franz. I'm CEO and co-founder of Plana AI. And retail food waste has been with me all my life. Growing up in my father's supermarket, I saw from early age on how food ends up in the trash due to poor planning. Later, during my studies at the University of Würzburg, I got to know Jan and Fabian, who are working on AI-based planning optimization as part of their PhD thesis. The two developed methods and algorithms that achieved an unprecedented high accuracy, but they didn't know what to do with them. So what belonged together came together, and we founded Plana AI to tackle one of the biggest challenges of our generation. Every single day, almost 1,400 truckloads of fresh food go to waste in Europe due to poor planning. That's more than 12.6 million tons per year, or in other words, more than 13 billion euro for the garbage can. And this is not only an economic disaster, but also a disaster for our environment and for our climate. To produce and transport this amount of food, more than 32 million tons of CO2 are emitted. That's actually more than Denmark as an entire country emits per year. Together with our customers, we've already been able to save more than 400 tons of CO2 due to better planning. But this was just the first step. We funded Planner AI with the vision to cut food waste by half within the next 5 years. Based on more than 10 years of research, we developed an AI-based planning platform that enables producers of fresh and fast-perishable products to plan end-to-end, from production to the supermarket shelf. We enable them to set up a functioning vendor-managed inventory systems, which means like more revenue, better margin, less markdowns, and most importantly, less food waste. We ensure that only what's actually sold is produced. And what I'm telling here today is not a distant vision of the future. Planner AI, not just 3 guys with a big vision. Planner AI, that's more than 30 people who do everything every day for the perfect order. In just a little over 2 years, we've been able to become technology partner of Aldi, a huge German discounter chain for their regional bakery program. And we are live in almost 1,000 grocery and bakery outlets where we can reduce the food waste by up to 30% and at the same time increase sales by 2 to 4%. And we can make a huge difference for all kinds of fresh and fast perishable goods. So vote for us today to ensure that unnecessary food waste and transport are not occurring in the first place. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you. Amazing pitch. I think amazing idea. What I was interested in is, how is your approach? I know you have a partnership with Aldi now, but how do you generally approach like stores, and do you rather go to the big stores first, or maybe start with small local stores?
Like our approach is a little bit different. We are not going direct on the retail level. We are going to the suppliers, to the manufacturers, because it's not just hard for the retailer to anticipate what all of us are buying today. This is just half the story. Also, the supplier, the manufacturer, especially in the fresh and ultra-fresh assortment, has kind of 6 to 8 hours between receipt of the order and the delivery at a central warehouse. This means also the supplier has to plan his production at the off chance. And this is the reason why it's super hard for the supplier to plan his production. And we enable the supplier to plan from production to the supermarket, multiple days or week in advance, depending on the case.
Thank you.
And through tackling only the suppliers, it's easier to cover more supermarkets, I guess, than to go to the different supermarkets each, right?
Yeah, like it's usually in these assortments, for example, bakery assortment. There's one bakery delivering to an area of around 100, 200 kilometers to 50 to 200 stores. And if you have this bakery as a customer, so we have automatically all the stores in the area.
And is it a SaaS model, and how much would I pay as a supplier? Can you give me some numbers?
Exactly. It's a SaaS model. It ranges between around 60 to 100 euro, and you have roughly 5 to 7 times ROI.
5 to 7 times what?
Return on investment.
Okay, maybe a question directly to that. Why would the supplier, so you're saying the ARR is high, but what are the actual savings from day one? Like what are they really saving on? Is it only the production? And why is not the supermarket also part of that business model?
Yeah. This is like the vendor managed inventory model. Means like the supplier is responsible for restocking the stock in the supermarket and also have to take the markdowns. Also for the bakery example, like if you're going to your favorite discounter, or there are also some regional bakeries delivering into the store, and all the unsold stuff they have to take back. So the risk of not selling a product is completely shifted to the supplier. So, and with the advanced planning solution, so we can enable the supplier to make a better ordering decisions and to reduce food waste, and then at the same time, like make sure there are still enough products if you are going to the store like 5 before closing, and you can still buy your favorite bread roll.
Yeah, I think the time is running out, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks to Franz Seubert and Planner AI. The best ideas evolve because one spots an error in the system, something that doesn't work out right. A very determined young lady from the southwest of Germany, near Mannheim, who worked as a doctor, quickly realized lots of documentation work, very time-consuming, very frustrating. This German so-called Zettelwirtschaft, which I think is a much better word than the word paperwork, Zettelwirtschaft, is common practice in many hospitals. And many of this young lady's friends have left their doctor's job due to this frustrating bureaucracy. She does not want to leave. She wants to make a change, and together with her partner Lars Stoll, she has created a web app that supports doctors in their daily work. Please welcome, up on stage, Ira Stoll, co-founder and CEO of myScribe.
25% of all doctors in Germany are dissatisfied and overworked in their jobs. 25% of all doctors in Germany do currently want to quit their jobs, and I am one of them. The main reason for this is the still missing digitalization of the medical documentation system in hospitals, and this in 2023. Of course, we have hospital information systems, but this is how they look like. Please? This is how they look like. And you see, just like me, that you see nothing. No diagnosis, no therapies, you can't add to-dos or course notes, and this is why we still use handwritten documentation files like this. In the end of the hospital stay, doctor's letters have to be typed in Word, which cost me between 4 and 6 hours every day. Time that I would have rather invested in patient care. This is why we invented the myScribe app, the first documentation app for doctors that uses artificial intelligence to fully automate discharge letter writing. The user face is user-friendly here. You see all important patient information, like symptoms, diagnosis, and therapies at a glance. The last two are also coded that you can use it for billing. I bring my daily workflow from paper to a mobile device, add to-dos and course notes, and I don't have to document anything more, because with all observations, a doctor's letter is written in the end, totally automated and individually by our NLP. So I just need a few minutes just to proofread all the letters, instead of 4 to 6 hours to write them. So let's summarize all the advantages we get from using AI in medical documentation. We have structured data, which is important for research, for controlling, and also for accounting. We overcome language barriers, because doctors don't have to generate sentences anymore, like they would have to do while dictating. We get a higher quality of doctor's letters there, and equal opportunities for everyone, no matter where you come from. The process optimization that results from the fact that there's no need for double documentation and no information gets lost in form of paper avoids human error and leads to a gapless and individual documentation. So we can achieve a higher patient safety, which we can't achieve with text templates because they are not individual and therefore very error-prone. But most important for my colleagues and me is the time saving of up to 3 hours a day. We can not only achieve higher economic efficiency in this time, but also a better working environment for happier physicians, a better patient care, and thus a stable healthcare system in Germany. Thank you.
Thank you for the great pitch. My first question would be, what's your target client? So rather practices or hospitals?
First, we thought we'd just go to hospitals because they have inpatient hospital stays, so patients that are there for 3 or 4 weeks, letters that take 1 to 2 hours to write. But now we also go to private practices because they also have to document and they also want to use our artificial intelligence to write the sentences. we don't want to generate sentences. We studied medicine and not Germanistic.
Who is your biggest competitor and how do you differ from them?
I'm not sure if I can answer this because there are big hospital information systems. I showed you one, and they cannot really be a competitor for us because they don't digitalize the documentation system. Dictating is the most digitalized thing they have. And the startups that are in this field do not focus on documentation right now. They mostly focus on patient journeys in hospitals, and we are the first ones that use an own NLP for doctor's letter generating. So, yeah, maybe we will get some competitors in the next time, but right now, yeah.
And coming back to Ann-Christine's question about your clients, and if you focus on practices, I can imagine it's very hard to, so you have to go to each and every single practice. So it's a lot of work to generate like smaller clients. Is it worth the effort?
It is. But there are some practice managing systems who have many practices. So we just right now implement in one of those systems, and they have 300 practices in Germany, so it's not very hard for us to work with all the practices together.
Thanks again for the great pitch. One question, especially when you go to hospitals, for example, how is it like perceived? Do you need a lot of convincing, or do they right away see that it's actually time saving? Asking especially like hospital management and stuff.
Yeah, the first contact we have to hospitals is always to the doctors, because we want to tell the doctors what they can save, how much time they can save while using our app, and they are always convinced in seconds. But then we have to talk to the IT, and the IT is the most difficult thing for us because they have to work together with us. We need interfaces from them, and this is why our team is mainly built of developers that help hospitals to implement these systems. And this is what the hospitals like about us. They use us for digitalization of their hospital system.
Okay, interesting. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks to Ira Stoll. Now, who here in this audience would not mind having a working assistant, a very precise, very focused, artificial intelligent assistant who saves you many work hours per week? Sounds good. Productivity in firms is still not at its best. Many workers spend a huge portion of their time doing things such as annoying copy and paste work, moving information from A to B. Although we all know that time is our most precious gift, we should use it wisely and get the help of this young man who will be up on stage shortly. 3 graduates from RWTH Aachen University with backgrounds in computer science and software engineering have founded Automated. And up on stage now will be Eric Mare, co-founder and CPO. A huge round of applause.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the nice introduction. So I bet everyone in this room is doing tasks at work over and over and over again. But don't worry, you're not alone with this. It's for more than 90% of office workers that are burdened with repetitive and boring tasks. But hardly any of you is automating these tasks. Why? Because process automation is broken. Who can code and knows how to build automations? Or who wants to spend 3 or 4 or even more hours to learn the basics of an automation tool? Or who wants to spend X thousands of euros to automate a process that might change the next day anyway? No one. So classic automation solutions only scratch the surface and leave a lot of annoying things unsolved for the masses. Imagine all the clerks transferring data from one system to another, or the sales managers adding data to their CRMs, or the operations managers navigating their path through the systems. End. So automated democratizes process automation. How? We build a predictive process automation model. And what does it mean? Similar to the currently hyped large language models, which predicts the next word, automated predicts the next process step. And on top of it, it also generates an automation that is directly executable. Cool, right? So the AI does all the work, analyzing the workflow and building an automation on its own. But how does it look like? Here's a small demo, and you can now see on the left side here that the person has to transfer the data from the Excel sheet to the business system. And I think you can already see how boring this is. And after the third time, the system recognizes this workflow, and you will see a so-called, we call it smart button from our system. And you can click it, and it's directly transferring all the data to the other system without any errors. And in the future, this will be also possible to be done in background. So you were able to see that there's no effort or knowledge required to derive this automation. And it can save you up to 99% of the execution time, so that companies have more time to focus on the things that really matter. So this is how easy process automation can be. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your pitch. Do you already have existing clients, and how much do they pay to use your software?
Yep. We have several existing clients from various domains too. So it's from insurances to retail, so various. And yeah, they of course also pay differently. It's a little bit based on how they use it and which departments and how big these departments are and so on.
Do you have maybe an example of a specific company and how much they pay?
Yes, we have, for example, one municipal utility provider in Bonn that is using it. So this is one example, but there are also more at the moment. Yeah.
But you're not going to give me any numbers.
Can you repeat the question?
You're not going to give me any numbers. How much do they pay for to use the software?
Yeah, as I said, it's completely varying. So it's, I mean, you can spend a lot of money, for example, to operate on these processes. And since we save a certain amount of time, it's also possible to say, okay, this is definitely worth it because we save this time, and at the end, we also save the companies the money.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks again. Great pitch. I'm just curious, is it that easy? Is it just plug and play and then you start, or do you need some, I don't know, implementation maybe in your backend or something, or it's just like a software you put on top or like a plugin?
Yep. So the goal is that it's always plug and play with any application, and at the moment it's working already very fast with most of the web applications, for example, but also applications that I would say are widely used in the area of business. But yeah, it's a plan to have it plug and play everywhere.
Okay, cool. And just quickly, there's a lot of onboarding, or it's also very easy to learn? I mean,
it's very easy to learn, especially for the users. So this was also something that was important for us, so they can directly start and automate things.
Okay, thanks.
Maybe last question, what's your big vision and also maybe exit or IPO potential?
Yeah, so I think the big vision is definitely that we have seen that there are so many things in companies that are done manually, even though it would be possible to automate it, but there was still the barrier is currently too high to do this. And with our product, we believe that all these things can be automated. We also believe that at the end, it will have a positive impact when all the things happen much faster than they do at the moment.
And you already have some VC money, right?
Yes.
Who are the VCs?
It's various VCs like Visionaries Club and Headline, and yeah.
Some good names. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
So, dear jury, we have heard all pitches in the category AI, and now you are heading off. You're discussing, deciding on who the winners of this year's Innovators Pitch, who the winners will be. So please stand up, get the applause that you have deserved. Thanks a lot to our jury members, Florian Müller, Sarah Heuberger, and Ann-Christine Kortenbrede. Okay, so we've seen some fireworks, but we still need something to celebrate, right? The jury has decided on the winners. And now, I would like to ask all jury members in the category EdTech up on stage. Matthias Graf von Kielmann-Seck, Beth Havinger, Luis Heinz, Dr. Diana Knodel. And I also want to ask all the startups up on stage in the category EdTech, KNOWBODY, Upacate and Talking Hands, everybody up on stage. Come up, come up, come up. Come up here, a big round of applause. Everybody up on stage. Come on. Here they are. So, I'm guessing you have the information we all have been waiting for.
So first of all, I would like to thank all the three teams, or you're representing your teams, and your marvelous presentation here, all the efforts you have put into this pitch today and in the days and weeks before. And I think you all have presented very well. You all addressed a very interesting topic, an important topic for future solutions for having a better educational system and having better education and training in the young generation. So I would like to thank you.
A big round of applause.
Also on behalf of my three colleagues from the jury. Big applause. Then secondly, we had a hard debate. It was so hard. It was a very difficult situation. We weighed, we had advantages, disadvantages, we got arguments, cons and pros, but in the end we had to finally we had to find someone. And the winner is...
The winner.
The winner is KNOWBODY.
KNOWBODY! Please hand over the trophy. KNOWBODY is the winner in the category EdTech at this year's Innovators Pitch. Please, a big round of applause. The check. First, we'll do a picture of you two together. Hold the check up. Nein, du musst ihn halten. You've got it. It's your 10,000 euro in cash to KNOWBODY. A big round of applause. KNOWBODY, Upacate, Talking Hands. Thank you to all the jury members. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your brilliant ideas. Do you want to say something? No. How? You're like, how? Where? How should I hold my mic? I'll take the 10,000 euro, yeah?
Don't take them away. We need them to do a porn teaching unit, so thanks a lot. That is still one of the main topics that we haven't covered. So I think the money is well invested. Thanks a lot. Thanks to my team that is sadly not here today. It's always most fun to hug them, but I will do that later. And thanks a lot to my fellow pitching startups, because they are amazing, and just spread the word about all three of us and you'll help us a lot. And then download the app and learn something about your own body and sexuality. I recommend it.
Congratulations to KNOWBODY, to everyone. Everybody, please stay up on stage. It's gonna get cozy now, so I would ask you to scoot over a bit. Lovely. Now, I would like to ask everybody in the category AI up on stage, please. The jury members, Florian Müller, Country Manager DACH at Fiverr, up on stage. Our jury head, a big round of applause, please. Sarah Heuberger, Ann-Christine Kortenbrede, Senior Investment Manager at eCapital. And... full hands. And of course, we also need the startups up on stage. Please, Planer A, myScribe, and automated. Up on stage, please. He's like, Darfish? Yes, you may. So you have the information we've been waiting for. Are you ready to spread the word?
Yes, I do. Again, thanks for the great pitches. It was a tough decision. I think you all have like really great business cases. The winner, we think, has a lot of potential. We also do see some challenges regarding GDPR and also regulations, and also how to get those hospitals to collaborate. But so yeah, the winner is myScribe. Congratulations.
A big round of applause. Woo! Check and a check. Das Foto machen, das mache ich. Ja. Picture of you two. Has the photographer gotten a good picture? Looks happy. I'll hand over the mic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I didn't expect this. We're such a small startup. We started this year in January. And I really think this money is good invested because we need a bigger AI server for our next AI that we plan. This is an OCR, so follow us on LinkedIn. And we really want to digitalize the healthcare system, and I'm so happy that you see this is something that has to be done, and thank you so much.
Congratulations to myScribe. Congratulations to everybody pitching up on stage. Please also come up. You're all standing at the wall. Come up. We need a good picture. Come up. Come up. A big round of applause to everyone up on stage, to our jury members, Planner.ai, myScribe, Automated. Congratulations to the winners. Hold up those checks. Thanks to our jury members, thanks to our partners, Fiverr and Vodafone Stiftung Deutschland, and all the partners who helped create this Hub Berlin. Are you doing good? It was a great Innovators Pitch. Thanks a lot. You can leave. You want to go down? We have come to an end of this year's Innovators Pitch, but ladies and gentlemen, it is not the end of this evening. This is a special occasion, so use it, get together, do some networking, have some nice talks with one another, exchange ideas, grab a beer, grab a water, and turn this into an evening to remember.